Thank you for being part of our program this morning, Saturday morning, and on Dynamic Diet on the Nigerian Television Authority channel, Nta Akure Dynamic Station. This is the program where, on a daily basis or on weekly basis, rather, we bring you issues that happens around us, and we try it as much as possible to entertain you, educate you, and also to inform you of things happening around you. This week is going to be a special week with us because this week we have lots of things to talk about. We're going to bring you a feature on the Ondo at 50 celebration. It was indeed a heartwarming event, and it's worth to be celebrated. Being 50 is not an easy task. And of course, I am Nta Akure, and I have with me my colleague this morning.
Hello, it's good to have you join us today on Dynamic Diet. And as usual, we are here to make your weekend an enjoyable one. My name is Folasha de Famawakiwa. Kindly stay with us as we take you through a jolly good ride from our weekly mirror segment after the Ondo State are 50.
Ondo State is celebrating 50. Yes. I'm very excited this morning because, the journey of 50 years is not an easy one. And looking at where we were and where we are now.
We are not where we used to be.
Of course. We might not be where we intend to be, but at least we are not where we were.
We are making progress.
50 years ago. So, and of course, there's money.
Yes.
This one.
The week for awareness of zero tolerance on female genital mutilation, and I know that some African countries are still practicing.
Are we talking about African countries? Even in Nigeria, I know that some people are still practicing it. Yes, some part of Nigeria. I was discussing with somebody this morning. Lightly that I think about some months ago, earlier this year, somebody caught somebody beside me and was telling the person, I want to do circumcision for my child.
Oh my.
And
is that person educated?
Because the person she is calling on phone is a health professional, a nurse to be precise. She was like, circumcision, bring the child to the hospital. So I'll attend to the child. And then in the course of the woman said, she was like, how old is the child? And the rest of them said, she's a female child.
Oh my God.
And the woman had to say, okay, no problem. Please.
I mean, it still happens to even people around us.
It happens around us.
Wow. So
and the woman had to say, well, still bring the child. I was like, why? He said, I want her to bring the child so that if she doesn't bring the child to me,
take the child
she'll take the child elsewhere. So let her bring the child for me and to me, then I'll be able to educate her. So it still happens. Though it might not be that much, but it still happens around us.
Okay, so we are here to sensitize people about this female genital mutilation, and we will be having a professional that will be joining us shortly on the show. And the world at large, we are trying to create awareness about this zero tolerance. It is brutal. It shouldn't be seen around us. And we are not
only... the entertainment segment this morning is going to be on the sad mode. I feel like crying. Let me not be emotional this morning. The world lost a legend. A legend in music industry, in the gospel music industry precisely.
Every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare his glory. Everything shall bow at your throne. In worship you be exalted, O Lord. And your kingdom shall not pass away, O ancient of days. I remember when we were growing up, they set the mood for every young chap, on worship.
That was a man that made me love
worship,
gospel song. Because he sang it, with dexterity, with agility, with everything you can think about.
And that voice was evergreen,
Evergreen. Sometimes I heard the man singing on stage in an event, and I was like, wow, this man is still there.
Anyway, apart from Ron
Connolly died at 81.
May his soul rest in peace, and every other person that we've lost in the entertainment industry during the week.
So, and of course, even in Nigeria,
we lost some people
in the entertainment industry. So, Those are going to form part of our highlights in the entertainment segment this morning. And of course, sports segment will not be left out. Well, right now, let's quickly have a look at the main event, the celebration of Ondo at 50. Nta Akure was there live, and we brought back a report from that event.
It was a colorful and well-attended celebration as the state sports complex was filled to capacity with indigenes, guests from across the country, political leaders, royal fathers, religious leaders, and security agencies, all gathered to celebrate the Sunshine State at 50. President Bola Tinubu was represented by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, commended the state for its vast economic potential and rich cultural heritage. He urged the residents to remain united and work collectively to ensure that the next 50 years surpass the achievements recorded in the last 5 decades.
Ondo State has demonstrated that diversity, whether in religion, political opinion, or culture, can be a source of strength rather than division.
In his address, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa praised the people of the state for their resilience and uniqueness, describing the Golden Jubilee as an opportunity to renew commitment to service and nation building.
Today, therefore, is not only a celebration, it is a solemn moment of collective remembrance and collective recommitment. And again, I say to all of us, remember the journey and renew your commitments.
Goodwill messages from dignitaries focused on appraising and commending the state's progress over the past 50 years.
My gratitude and appreciation to my brother, the governor of Ondo State, for doing a very great job in Ondo State, and it's our prayers that in the next 50 years will be glorious for this state.
We have something to celebrate. We have a past, we have a present, and we have a future. Those who passed before us, they did all what they could do. It is now for us to do whatever we think. People that come in after us, they will see that we did something reasonable.
What we have, they don't have it in the other state. The resources we have, nobody have it. That's why I said we are the heartbeat of Yoruba land.
The celebration was further spiced up by cultural displays and parades by contingents from the 18 local government areas, showcasing the rich cultural heritage of the state. In Akure, Abiola Rio, Nta News.
Wow. To us, a beauty to behold that, I could see even our sister state, or do I say, our daughter state now, Ekiti State was there also to celebrate with us. And right now we are on the weekly mirror segment of Dynamic Diet, where we're going to talk about female genital mutilation. We already have a guest in the house, like I told you earlier. My guest this morning is somebody that has been working with the Ondo State Ministry of Health in trying to deal with issues that concern family. And she is the desk officer of the gender-based violence in the Ondo State Ministry of Health. I guess it's Mrs. Adepimpe Adewoyi. You're welcome to the program, ma.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, sir. It's good to have you here, ma.
Thank you.
Right, we're talking about female genital mutilation. Precisely yesterday, Friday, the 5th of the 6th of February was observed as the International Day for Zero Tolerance to female genital mutilation.
Yes.
What exactly is female genital mutilation?
Thank you very much. So, according to WHO, female genital mutilation, FGM, so it's any harmful procedure done to the external female genitalia part or any injury that is done to female external organ for non-medical purpose. So you can see the word there for non-medical purpose. There is no any health benefit for the female genital mutilation. So there is no need of to carry it out on females. So female genital mutilation is also known as female genital cutting or female genital circumcision. And this FGM, we have different types of it. We have the type 1, type 2, type 3, and also type 4. So the type 1 is known as the clitoridectomy. That is this part in this type of the female genital mutilation. So they target the clitoris of the female child. So it's either they remove the total removal of the clitoris, or they even remove parts of the clitoris. And also we have the type 2 female genital mutilation. In this type 2 genital mutilation is being known as the excision. So during this procedure, so they tamper with the clitoris and also the minor or major labia majora of the female genital organ. That is the external lips of the vagina and the internal lips of the vagina. So the third part of the FGM, which is the infibulation. So this category of it is not being practiced much in this Ondo state. So it's being practiced mostly in the northern part of the Nigeria. So this type is being called infibulation. So during this procedure, so they try to narrow the opening of the vagina. They try to narrow it so to them it's too wide. So they try to narrow it so that anything will not come inside, except if they want to urinate, if they want to urinate, or also during maybe menstrual, or during when they are menstruating. So they will narrow it and stitch it, just leave small opening there. So and the third part of it is any other harmful procedure that is being done again, that is being carried out on the external female genital organ. So and this fourth part include burning. So some people, they even go as length as using palm kernel. They put it inside the fire to make it hot very well. So and after that, they will just use it to rub the clitoris, just to make sure that there's no any sensation in that part again. Also piercing, scraping, so all those forms is part of FGM being carried out, especially in this our Nigeria.
Well, Ma, you mentioned that these things have no health benefits.
Yes.
And everything has the historical background. Why do you think they would do such brutal things on human being or on a girl child?
Thank you very much. So the reason is that, in the olden days, so they just carry this. We know that they all perform mutilation on male child, and the reason for being that is that to avoid microorganism to penetrate on the penis of the body, sex organ of the male child. But for female, there's no benefit in doing it. So, but in the olden days, they believe that since they've performed it on the male child, they must also perform it on the female child. And also, because of the traditions, the culture, the social norms, they believe that this is how we're supposed to do it. And they also believe that in raising a girl child, this is supposed to be the path they have to follow. And also, they believe that if they carried out female genital mutilation (FGM) on a female child, that it makes them clean. To them, they see it that if we don't perform that on the girl child, they see that child is not clean, it's dirty. Yes, they see it as a purification, that they want to purify that child. And also they see that to avoid that child being promiscuous, that it prevents promiscuity. And all this is not true, because we can see that we've seen some people that they've performed FGM on and they are promiscuous. So it's not an evidence that, okay, if they carry it out on a female child, that child will not be promiscuous. So, and also, as I said earlier, the traditional belief, we even have some mothers also, they don't even know the importance. They don't even know.
They just want to follow
the trend.
Asking questions.
My grandmother said she did it, so my mother
must do it.
I did it. So my daughter too must do it.
Yes.
Without asking any question.
Yes, and we also have some communities that they will tell you that you can't marry from our family.
If you did not perform.
Yes. So because of marriage, some people, they undergo this heart.
Wow.
So sad.
I saw Shadi was almost becoming.
Thank God for development and education.
Almost becoming emotional. And because she's a woman and she feels, how could it be? But let me ask now. We have seen these acts, those things that people do, and what they think it will be. What are the dangers?
Thank you, sir. So the dangers are numerous. We have the long-term dangers and we have the short-term dangers. Let's say, for example, now, a child, because this act is normally, the procedure is normally be carried out in a child between 0 months to 14 or 15 years. So some they carried out before the first year of the child. So during this procedure, we see that the pains that the child will undergo during that procedure, because they will just carry the baby, cut and do whatever they want to do on that child. So it causes a lot of pain and bleeding. The child will bleed so much, lose so much of blood, and this bleeding can even lead to death if they do not take care properly. It can lead to death of that child, of that female child. And now, apart from that, also infection can set in during this process. Infection like sepsis, HIV, tetanus, because some of the instrument and equipment being used to carry out this FGM are not sterilized. So through that, a lot of infection can set into that girl child. And apart from that, also it can also lead to urinary tract infection. So, and also it can also lead to sexual dysfunction in women of childbearing age. So you see that most of our women that during after marriage, we see them that they don't even enjoy sex. They don't even have the urge for sexual intercourse. So, and this thing that has caused through the FGM that has been carried out on them. So no orgasm, no sexual arousal. So and it affects homes. It affects homes to denying their husband is right.
Of the pleasure.
Yes, yes. And it's not the fault of the woman. It's because of the FGM.
Psychological effects.
Yes.
Not about
apart from psychological effects. You know, the clitoris, the function of the clitoris is to enhance sexual pleasure, to give sexual arousal.
Those things, they've already used it to destroy.
Yes, yes. In some, they even remove the clitoris. They remove everything.
What you can't do to animals. Anyway, at what stage did this thing started to deteriorate in our tradition? When did people become aware, of this thing, that it is a danger to the girl child?
Yes, and thank God for education. So it has been long. It has been long, because I could remember when I was young. So we used to hear that time that, okay, you don't have to carry a circumcision on female child. Even during then, my mother want me. I told my mother that if I give birth to a female child, that I will not carry out FGM on her. That because of what I had there. My mother now told me, you must do it. Oh, I did it for you.
Can you
You must do it. So to her then, and I asked that why. She told me that the danger there is that if a female child is not being circumcised, that during childbirth there will be complications.
Wrong information.
Yes, there will be complications. That the moment at the delivery stage, at the moment the baby is coming out, if the head of the baby touches the clitoris, that the baby will shake and die.
Wow.
Yes, so the fear was immediate, and I said, wow, that I must carry that FGM on my female child. But later on, a lot of sensitization, awareness. So and I said, okay, it's as if my mother, she had the wrong information. So it has been long.
Do we say because you are educated? Maybe the parents or the mother that is being educated can ask questions that why are they doing this thing? Because your mother meant well for you.
Yes.
She was telling you about childbirth, but it was the wrong information she got.
Yes, apart from even education, we have some ministries, some NGOs that used to go out from in the communities. Some also at the market square just to pass out this information, and also in our health centers. Whenever a pregnant women go for antenatal services, there is a posted around there. They will write it in English and also in Yoruba, so that will enlighten them concerning this FGM.
Wow, while we're discussing, I come to think of it. For us to be able to stem these issues of FGM, whatever, I think there is also, we need to identify some people, maybe those that have passed through it, to be able to talk to them. But this is not something that you see on people's face. Are there things we can look out for to know that, oh, this person might likely have done this, so what do we do to concentrate on this area? Some people, because they have done it,
the side effects on them. Okay.
Is there a way we can recognize that, or maybe this person might have done this, or they might have done this to this child? How do we come out to help?
Thank you very much, sir. So the survivor of FGM. So in Ondo State, according to the NDHS data for prevalence of FGM in Ondo State, we say that 43.5% of our women in Ondo State has been mutilated. So in our programs, we see people coming out to say it about the FGM, that they are the survivor of FGM. FGM was being conducted to them when they were young. So and they even testify to it, that especially the sexual dysfunction on them. So they testify, they say it out that they don't
have pleasure.
Yes, about pleasure. But at times, you have to just to pretend that they have to pretend so that their husband will not feel bad. So just to pretend that maybe okay they are enjoying it, just to keep their homes. So and also we've seen a lot of females that they are not being mutilated, and presently and they are in their husband's house.
And they are doing well.
They are doing well. They are not promiscuous, and also they don't have any maybe all those
any of those
assumptions.
Yes. So and they gave birth successfully, just unlike the one that my mother told me. so and they are doing fair. They are doing fine. So
I don't know, their children combust and die at birth. Wow,
it's good to know that these things are facing out, because I don't know. Well, on our part now, when we were doing introduction, my colleague was talking about somebody that was calling a nurse that she wanted to, circumcise her child. Have you been having such experiences in your place?
Yes. So what
do you do?
Yes, what we normally tell them is that, especially during the antenatal service, that most of our women also, they don't come to antenatal service. They believe that is it the first time that I'm being pregnant? Yes. This is not my first child. This is not my second child. What is the essence of going to hospital? I will only go there when I want to give birth. And we even have some that will not even go give birth at the hospital. Some prefer to go to the traditional birth attendants. So, but whenever they are in the hospitals for antenatal services, so part of the routine services being done for them is that to sensitize them on FGM, who are to be mutilated, that is only the male child, and not to carry it on the female child. And yes, and also we have some experiences, so they normally ask questions. They will normally ask questions, and at times if they bring a female child to the hospital for circumcision, so what we normally tell them, especially in all our health facilities, secondary facilities also, so they have to sensitize them, to educate them that no, you don't have to carry this out on a female child. If you do so, you violate the rights of that person, of that child. So you don't have to carry it out, and they have to tell them that there is no health benefit. Why will you just want to traumatize your child? Why do you want your child to go to experience this? So they have to tell them that since there is no health benefit, so why would you just want to undergo? Because even though if a child is being mutilated, even the mothers at that moment, for like 3 days, the mother also will be restless. Because, yes, because the child will be restless. The child may have fever, so and by so doing the mother will not leave that child. You have to take care of that child also. So they have to tell them, we tell them that there's no reason of doing that.
Okay, so now some parents are stubborn. Even when you tell them, they will still go back and they want to go and patronize other people. Even those that don't come for antenatal, they don't know. So how do you partner with other people, maybe religious bodies and traditional rulers and all that, to sensitize people in their community to put a stop? We're talking about zero tolerance.
Zero tolerance. Yes. Thank you very much, ma'am. So we normally go out for sensitization, community sensitization, religious leader. That is, we engage all of them. We tell them the dangers in FGM, the health implications. So and we see that most of them also, they say, especially the Christian and Muslim, they said in the Bible, it's only the male child that was circumcised, that the instruction being passed in the Bible is that which is only circumcised the male child and not the female child, and also the Islamic religion also. So there's no circumcision of female genital mutilation there. So also they even help us to pass the information in their services, in their church service and their mosque also.
Let me come to this point, because there is something that is very strong and it's very hard to break culture. Those that do it for cultural purpose.
Relevance.
Your mother's cases, when a child want to give birth to a child, that one can be easily proven. Oh, somebody gave birth and without that doing that and nothing happened. I've seen cases you can but when it has to do with cultural belief, it's something that is very hard to break. How do you how do we make people realize that this thing does not benefit and yet not hurting their culture? Because when you tamper with people's culture, they tend to resist you with whatever thing they can. They can. So how do we make people realize this thing yet not hurting or tampering with their cultural belief, and as in, not making them feel that you are slighting their culture?
Yes, we've seen a lot of challenges during the field work, but the thing is that at times goes on, we see that when we now have a lot of female that have not been mutilated, then I believe they will now have the much belief in it. So though it's very hard to stop people of their traditional belief and their culture. So that is one of the challenges we are having even in Odo State, because there was a time that we went to a community. The leader of that community, he was furious that, no, how will you tell me that? So we tried to convince him, and we told him that these are the dangers and everything. So he said, to even believe, said, okay, we shall see then that we cited so many examples. And when we were going, there was a person among us also that she's an adult and she's not being mutilated. She says, she told the mother that I gave birth and nothing happened to my children. So she tried to admit to what we said also, that okay, that she will try to change his perspective about it. So I can say that maybe through more awareness and sensitization, so we'll be able to break through this cultural beliefs.
Another issue is issue of trauma and stigmatization for victims. How do we handle this?
Thank you very much, sir. Especially in this our state, the stigma and traumatization for survivors. Most of the cutting in this our state is being done between the 0 to 5 years. So the cutting has been done before they even before the early stage. They
were not conscious. They were not conscious of what was done to them.
What was done to them.
They only grew up to meet themselves.
Yes, Yes, they grow up to meet themselves the way they are. So the pain, they might have forgotten the pain. But when they now, children, at times they have to go to school, and they now say other female, also a female child that is not being mutilated. It is there now, they will not be asking questions, what happened?
Why am I like this?
Why am I like this? So and after they they now read the dangers and everything. Some even may even have urinary infection. Some may even have menstrual problem, that is difficult during they have difficulty during menstruation. So and if they now tell them that this thing happened because of FGM, if it traumatizes them, that why will my parents,
why me?
Yes, why me? Why would they allow me to undergo this thing? So for now we don't have the survival center for it, but what the counseling we can have for them is that the deed has been done already. So they have to admit their body the way they are. So and we have the third part, which I said earlier, that the type 3 of the FGM, which is the infibulation, that one is not being practiced in this state. So in those areas that is being practiced, that infibulation, that is, they have to narrow the vaginal opening. So what they have to do is they have to the infibulation.
That is a medical procedure.
Yes, they have to carry out another procedure. That is, they have to open it and leave it the way it's supposed to be. So by that, so there will be no any difficulty during menstruation. So and it will even ease them. So those are the ways.
So can we confidently say that we've recorded success in the sensitization and reduction of this FGM in Ondo State and Nigeria at large? Because I know in places like Somalia, they are still practicing all these things.
Yes.
So can we say we are reading a success in it?
Yes, just we are doing better. As I said earlier, that the prevalence for FGM in Ondo State is 43.5.
Wow,
that was
on the high side.
Yes, but we are doing better, sir.
43.5.
43.5. We can't compare ourselves to our neighboring states.
In the north.
No, our neighboring states, even Ekiti. Yes,
okay.
Even Ekiti.
That's almost half population of our women being mutilated.
Yes.
A lot still has to be done, and I'm sorry for cutting it. That's why the theme, I'm now coming particularly about the theme for this year's FGM, Zero Tolerance for FGM. It's talking about no end to FGM without sustainable commitment and investment.
Investments.
Is this figure not telling us that we have not done enough?
Thank you, sir. The reason for the theme is that, the United Nations Joint Program on Elimination of FGM. So, the program started in 2008 and is going to end 2030. So now, as it is now, we are.
Well, just like 3 or 4 years.
Yes, we are approaching. Yes, so there's a need for sustainability, because after 2030, if we don't continue to sensitize our community and carry that awareness, people, they will see that they will go back to their old way and continue to doing it. So for sustained commitment and investment, that is, after the period of this 2030, we still have much to do. That is to carry out sensitization. We should go to communities, the politician, everybody, even the family, they have their own role to play. They have to speak against FGM, to protect the girl child, and also the aspect of investment. There should be fund. Yes, because we want to carry out sensitization, we want to go for awareness, there should be fund. That is, government should release funds. There will be no fund, enough funding to carry out the FGM activities, to end this program.
When we're talking about FGM, funding, sensitization, and all the rest, I say in this part of the world, or maybe globally too, it's a global trend that's cascade down to our part. When an issue of health concern comes to the front burner, everybody tends to, at that time, we shout, we do. But if not, as we're discussing, I never knew our statistics in those states is that high on FGM. Yet, we tend to prioritize. I'm not saying every health issue is not important, but we tend to downplay some of those things and focus on others that we feel are still very hot to us now and are trending rather. Just like let me use my colleague's word. Why this, and what do you think we can do? This is your area. What can we do?
Okay. Thank you. So, as I said earlier, on those states, we are trying our best. We are doing all possible means to end this female genital mutilation. Even currently in those states, so we have the ongoing program to end FGM. So the program is in collaboration with Ministry of Health and Ministry of Women Affairs, sponsored by UNFPA, UNICEF, and Big If in Ondo State to end this FGM. So, and the program is going to run till 2030. So, a lot of sensitization has been done, and the area of concentration for this project, we have the Akure South, our local government, Idonri, and Ifedore. So, a lot of sensitization also is going on, and we also have a lot of partners also in Ondo State that what they are doing majorly is on FGM in our state.
Okay, so it's obvious that all hands has to be on deck to make this work, because the percentage has to crush down. Okay. Due to development, we shouldn't be recording 40-something% at this age in time. I know that the government is working, but they need to invest. And of course, you are here to sensitize people on what to do. Parents, neighbors, religious leaders, and even cultural people who are into culture that will say, oh, don't tamper with our culture. So what do you have for them before we round up here?
Thank you, ma'am. So, female genital mutilation, to end female genital mutilation, it has to start from me, start from you. It's the responsibility of everyone in the community, both the male and the female. We have to protect the right of a girl child. We have to protect their health and also to protect their future. We should be the voice to speak against FGM. There's no any health benefit of it. No need to carry out FGM. Our religious leader, we are begging them to help us to sensitize their communities member, and also we have the clergy, the Islamic religions leader also. They should help us to continue this awareness on how to end FGM in our states.
Well, thank you very much, Mrs. Adebimpe, for being our guest this morning, and I hope at least we have been able to do something about at least play our part in sensitizing people about FGM this morning. And I hope that when next we invite you, you oblige our invitation.
Yes, sir.
Well, on that note, we are going to the entertainment segment, and like we told you before we started this program, we have lots happening in the entertainment industry, and particularly on the sad note, the world of entertainment, the world of music industry, the gospel music lost a gem in the presence of a legend artist, Ron Kennedy. Please, let's sit back, watch this video in memory of Ron Kennedy.